Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. So happy new year. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who watched my last video about the 5 types of goals you need to create in 2017. I got lots of really positive comments and so many of you signed up for my podcast newsletter and tuned into my podcast and left me great feedback by leaving reviews on iTunes. I thank you so much. So in the same spirit of the new year and thinking about just ways I want to be a better person, I found this wonderful little graphic on Pinterest and I made a blog post about this, and I thought it would be also really great to share a video with all of you loves here. So the little graphic that I found on Pinterest was 10 things successful women refuse to do. And it was just bullet points, but it was just so deep. It was so touching. It really spoke to me. And for the most part, a lot of these things I don't do, but there are definitely things that I need to work on. I am obviously not perfect, and I know you're not perfect. None of us are perfect, but there are always things that we can work on. And when I read this list of things, it really made me reflect on how important it is to be a good person and be a positive person, and what are some of the things that we do that sometimes we do unconsciously or when we're in certain environments and we don't really take the time to think and assess if it's something that we should be doing. Is it good for us? Is it toxic to our own selves or to other people? So I just want to remind you all that I have created a podcast and it's called the Jenell B Stewart podcast. It is available on iTunes, Jenell B Stewart podcast. It's also available on SoundCloud if you do not have an Apple device at soundcloud.com/JenellBStewart. I have about 8 different podcasts where I talk about career, family, marriage, fitness, and I think those are the 4 main and empowerment. I'm also going to be launching a healthy living series where I will be selling a workbook. Details will be coming soon, but I can't wait to share it with you all. So let's get into the list. These are 10 things successful women refuse to do. The first thing is gossip about other women. When I was younger, obviously, I think a lot of young people, not that only young people gossip, but we don't really think about the impact that gossip has on other people and what that's really doing to ourselves and how toxic gossiping is. It's just not a good thing for us to do. For the most part, I feel like if there is something that I want to talk about someone else, I will talk with like my best friend about it, and but I try to avoid like being negative and being nasty, but I feel like it's okay to have conversations. A lot of times on reality TV, you'll see the women arguing and they'll be like, keep me out your mouth, don't talk about me, don't say my name. But I feel like in conversation, in healthy communication, it's kind of unrealistic to not ever talk about someone else. I think when you have interactions with people, you are allowed to share what those interactions and how those interactions made you feel. So for example, if you have a mutual friend with someone else and that mutual friend did something to you, you should be able to feel comfortable enough to go to another friend and talk about that. But you should equally feel comfortable enough to go to the person who you have this issue with and talk to them as well. If you have a friend who maybe did something that you're thinking about doing or did something that you would never do, I feel like you should be able to have conversations with another friend about that thing, because it's just it's natural to want to evaluate what people do, and it doesn't mean you're judging them. But what I don't like is when people see someone in a horrible state and they take what that person is going through and they go and they talk about them and they belittle them and they put them down, and it's all just negative. They have ill intent. They clearly don't care about this person. They don't want to see this person be better, and then they decide to gossip. Or you're jealous and you want something that someone else has, so you go and you hate on them because of that. No bueno. That can't happen. Number 2, judge other women. This goes right into what I was just saying. Don't judge people. Someone does something that you don't necessarily agree with, it's their life. Now, I have had situations in my life where with family, close family, where I've told them something and they were like, don't judge me. I feel like people take the word judge sometime to mean like, don't tell me about what I've done. Don't try to correct my negative behavior. And I don't feel like that is synonymous. And I actually talked about this in a video. I don't remember which video it was, but it was one where I was talking about the scripture. And, you know, I just felt like if you are someone who I care about and I see you going down the wrong path, or I feel like there is any advice that I could give you to help circumvent something that could come up in your life, or because I've experienced something, I feel like I can share that with you to help you make a better decision, I'm gonna do that. I would never let someone whom I love just make poor decisions because I didn't want to judge them, so I don't say anything at all. I feel like that's actually not what you're supposed to do to people you love. You're supposed to take a firm stance in their lives, and love means that you care for them and you want better for them. And I cannot let you just be a train wreck because you don't want me to hear anything that I have to say. That's not the difference between judging. Offering constructive criticism, guidance, and support and help is not the same as judging. But when someone does something that you don't agree with and now you hold it against them. The third thing is negative self-talk. This is actually something that I don't do. I do not talk negatively to myself. I'm so stupid, I'm so ugly, I'm so fat, I can't do anything right, I'm never gonna get out of the situation, everyone's against me. I don't do those kind of things. I don't say those kind of things to myself. I just don't have it in me to speak that way. If I make a mistake or if something in my life is not going as I would have liked to, my immediate response is to come up with a strategy. So, hey, we all gain weight. Many of us are overweight. Many of us have gained weight. Many of us have lost and gained weight, whatever. When I gain a little bit of weight and I feel it in my body or I see it on the scale, I don't go, oh, I'm so fat. Why can't I ever get this weight thing together? Or, you know, why is it that I can't keep the weight off? I just can't. I just don't have the motivation to do this. I'm never gonna be able to do this. I don't say that. I immediately say, okay, what can I do? Let me see if I can get another workout in this week. Maybe I need to take out those Oreos that I've been eating. All right, I'm definitely not going to order out for the next week because I really need to cut back on the sodium. Like, that's how I talk to myself. I'm gonna increase my water and I'm going to make sure that I am not eating any junk food after 7, 8 o'clock, like whatever. That's the way that I talk to myself. It's not negative. When I don't close a business deal, I don't speak negatively about it. I actually use this, I try to look at the silver lining. It wasn't meant to be, or there's something else, another opportunity out there for me. I'm going to keep working and I'm going to work harder to get the next opportunity. That's it. The fourth thing successful women refuse to do is live for others. And I know that sometimes this can be really difficult if you are married or in a very serious relationship. Maybe even if you have children, sometimes people just like live for their children. I really can't talk too much about this because I definitely don't do this, and I don't really have many examples of how people live for others. But if you know someone who lives for others, or even you yourself live for another person or other people in your life, definitely share in the comments below how you live for others. But I know that I know it's something I don't do. I feel it in my heart. Like, I do not live for other people. I don't let other people's issues be my issues. I can support and help people that I love, but it's your life, not mine. The fifth thing successful women refuse to do is put their dreams on hold. How many people have I met who admire what I do and are inspired by what I do, being an entrepreneur, being a mom, being a wife, and they tell me that they have dreams and aspirations, however, they just don't move forward with them because there's so many things going on right now in their lives. If I were to wait until my children were older to do the job that I do now, because it requires a lot of time, it requires me to travel, I would regret it, because who knows if when my children are 18 years old, that's gonna literally be 13 years from now, if the business that I'm in is even a business anymore. And in 13 years, would someone like me even be relevant to people who are watching YouTube videos and are reading natural hair websites and come to events about health and beauty and wellness? I don't know, but I do know that the goals and the dreams that I have for myself in regards to traveling, I can include my family. I don't need to put them on hold. It doesn't mean I can't do things because I have a family or because I'm married. I just need support, and I need to have open communication with the people who are in my life to get support. So yeah, putting dreams on hold, it's not something that I do. It's not something that I think anyone should do, but I do understand that it can be extremely challenging to want to live out your dreams when you have a family, when you have a lot of responsibility. But don't put them on hold. Figure out how you can do them together so that you can still maintain your responsibilities over here while living your dreams over here. I'm gonna go through the next few really quickly because I'm only on 5 and this video is at 13 minutes. Okay, number 6, successful women do not stop learning. I'm always reading. I have this bookshelf. I've shared with you my books that I'm reading. If you visit JenellBStewart.com, I'll put a link in the description box. I've shared the 6 books that I'm reading this year to better my career and make me a better person. So I'm always learning. I love going to professional development workshops and conferences, and I'm always reading on the web, and you know, we're always learning. Number 7, successful women refuse to stop listening. You gotta listen. You gotta be able to take information, take constructive criticism, and listen to what's going on in the world and use that to better yourself. Number 8, successful women refuse to remain silent. I thought that this was so funny because I'm a talker. I'm always talking, I'm always gabbing, but I think it's important to speak for yourself, advocate for yourself. Oh my goodness. Advocate for yourself. You have to be willing to ask for what you need, to ask for what you want, to offer advice and suggestions and input to make things better. Don't remain silent, especially on social and cultural issues and things that are important to you, issues in your family. And as it relates to career, you've got to be willing to speak for yourself and speak out. Number 9, successful women refuse to live with worry and doubt. Let go and let God. And number 10, successful women refuse to settle for less. And I can say 100% that is something that I refuse to do. Know your worth. Do not undervalue yourself. And don't be afraid to make it clear as to what you will and will not do, what you will and will not accept. Do not settle for less. You deserve the best, and you need to work really hard to get it. You don't just get to sit back and have everything just fall upon you. You do have to work hard for it, but do not settle for less. Let me know if you have any questions. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye.